It's William here, the Bangkok voice coach, and it must have been the most exciting weekend for so many of you who were in Almaty for Dimash's concert. I've seen footage of it in various places and it looked amazing. Those big screens, and he sang for 3.5 hours. I mean, it's just extraordinary. So I just want to say one thing, which is that I had quite a few comments from the previous video where people were asking me not to cut it off and to include their favorite parts of the song and things like that. And I just wanted to explain that it's not always possible to use the entire song for copyright reasons, and therefore I have to cut some parts, although I think cutting the end is never a good idea. So for that reason I may not always be able to show all of a song when I'm reacting and analyzing it, because remember, what I'm trying to do is explain the process and what makes Dimash such a great artist, a great singer. If you want to watch the original song, you can watch that in its full form, and there's many places you can find that. So another thing I want to say is you can now switch on subtitles in all of these languages around the world. So I'm terribly excited about my next adventure. I'm terribly excited about this because I've really wanted to watch this video for a long time, and I have put it off. Partly because I've been researching at the moment some work on studies about highly talented, gifted children. And I do have some very talented children who come for singing lessons, and some of them are quite young, and their parents are sort of quite puzzled by how amazingly brilliant they are at something. And this word is, well, we all know this word when we have a child prodigy, right? Well, that's 2 words. And it's very hard to explain the child prodigy, and it's something which actually has not been very particularly well scientifically documented, but there are certain things that can really help the development of a child to be prodigious at a certain thing at a very young age. And the word prodigious comes from the Latin prodigium. And prodigium means an omen or a sign of something to come in the future. And actually, that's rather ominous. And I think in the 15th century, and a long time ago, prodigious children were not necessarily seen as miraculous. They were often treated with a lot of suspicion. One thing that can really benefit a gifted child is to be surrounded by the gifts that they are exposed to and become passionate about at a very early age. And when you think about Mozart, there he is, at the age of 3, his father Leopold, there's Leopold, he was teaching him violin, piano and composition. And he was quite strict about it. Now imagine living with your teacher 24/7. And constantly having lessons. You would accumulate a lot of practice hours, a lot more than most people. So living with and being surrounded by extremely talented, hardworking professionals can rub off at a very young age. And so I have been putting off looking at this video until now, but I'm terribly excited to watch it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it with you at the same time. This is Dimash with his mum and dad. Oh, this is mum. Easy baritone. like a traditional folk song. You're singing in unison. Oh, there he is. It's a different voice, really.
Sütümde aktasam asılanışım ömrüm bop жалғастым өзің ғанасың ең аяулым ардақтым төккен нұрым мәңгі өшпейді қанатың көкте
You see? That's his mum. I thought it was him. Beautiful, isn't it? Make people cry, right? So I think what's really interesting there is that he has already got this poetic ability. He's already just got this softness. There's something different. You notice when he sings, his mum is a lovely singer. His dad is a very gentlemanly, a nice man who has a nice voice. But when Dimash sings, there's something that you can't put your finger on. It's just special, beautiful, and in a different kind of league. Well, what it essentially has is the ability to touch people. And that is the basis of the whole thing, really, isn't it? Is that he has this ability to touch, and he has it in his voice. And his mother has the coloratura soprano, and she goes up there absolutely effortlessly. She can fall out of bed doing that in the morning. And I think he sounds like the two of them joined together, and plus this extra element of this extra gift, this extra special power that he has. But it's not altogether, it explains something of his meteoric rise, because what you add to this nurturing, when you're surrounded growing up by music and by parents who sing, then singing is the most natural thing, right? But a lot of prodigies, when they grow up, kind of fizzle out. I mean, what happened to this guy? Or this girl? Growing up after being a prodigy is really quite hard, because you're no longer young and cute, you're just a normal grown-up, and there's lots of people who can do what you can do, so you're not special anymore. But what Dimash decided to do was commit himself to a course of study. He studied classical singing. He expanded the range of his voice. He studied composition, and he trained himself so thoroughly that as he grew into being this huge artist, he had all the tools to be able to have a great career, because it's built on this strong foundation. So I think that makes a lot of sense, and I'm really glad that I watched that, because I think it shows that he comes from a very good family where he was loved, and he learned the importance of being respectful, being kind, and being generous with his God-given talents. It's William here in Thailand, the Bangkok voice coach. See you soon. Bye.